Good evening. I'm here. It is just after midnight on Friday, October 6th. I managed to pull off every stream I wanted to do this week. What a miracle. And we'll see if miracles continue to happen. So hey, I'm here. It has been a week. It's been an interesting week. I've actually been kind of chill this week, thank God. That won't last very long, but hey. So I finished the Pokemon DLC last night, mostly. There was a couple things I didn't get to finish because of various reasons, but we're done with it till the next DLC comes out. There was actually something I wanted to talk about at the end of it, and I forgot to. So, oops, when the Indigo Disc comes out, I will bring it up. So, we have quite literally 2 weeks until Mario Wonder comes out, which is going to be my next game. So, I figured I could tackle any game from my backlog that's been sitting there for ages, or I could stream another Phoenix Wright game because that I've played like 3 times over already, and I figured why not? I really want to do more Phoenix Wright. Ever since I finished streaming the first one, I've just been like looking up Ace Attorney stuff, and I watched all the stage plays. I actually am in the middle of the third and final one, which I'm assuming there's only 3. There might be more that I just don't know about that might not be subbed. But, yeah, I'm really still in an Ace Attorney mood, and I figured, why not? Let's do the second game, Justice for All. It's shorter. It's shorter than the first game. Something to note is that, so this game, this game was long because it had that final case that was added to the DS version. That's not the case for these 2 games. These 2 games are just translated, released in America, no extra shit added. In fact, this is kind of a minor thing, but you'll actually notice the music in these 2 games is actually a little, like, lower quality than the music in the first game, because this had the music remastered into, like, DS quality, whereas these 2 now are just kind of upscale GBA quality, so it kind of sounds a little tinnier, or rather the instruments sound a little more like GBA, like chiptune instruments, rather than what the first game had. It's most notable when you hear the Maya's theme later on. But yeah. So this game was released in Japan a year after the original, and it was released in America a year after the DS version. Interesting thing to note, actually, the DS versions of these games, if you bought them in Japan, you had the GBA versions, you could actually use the DS's bottom slot, and if you put the GBA version in, you'd unlock all the cases right away. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I guess that's really all that's worth mentioning here. This is where the story starts getting a little ridiculous. In a good way. The original trilogy is all good. Spicy, yeah, no spicy. Even though I ate spicy food just a few minutes ago. I don't really know what else to say. Rise from the Ashes is not canon to the rest of this trilogy. Don't expect to see any of the characters from this episode or any plot points from this episode come back up. It does have foreshadows to the future stuff, but it's not canon to the rest of the series until you get to the second trilogy and on. Then it's canon. So anyway, Justice for All, Episode 1, The Lost Turnabout. We get a new character in the background. We get Phoenix up front, and we get a ridiculous opening, by the way. How did I get into this mess? That's far enough! You can't run forever! Mr. Phoenix Wright! I gotta turn down my mic a bit here. There we go. What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this! Huh? But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title. Yeah, how's that for an opener? Wait, this isn't a GeoGuessr channel? No, unfortunately it is not, Colorful Zebra. You know what, though? My GeoGuessr, I forgot to undo the sub, and I got charged again for it. So maybe I will do a GeoGuessr stream sometime this month. I don't know. Keep an eye out. I might do it. September 8th, 9:08 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 1. Alright, we'll work another GeoGuessr stream in there. Eyes will be peeled open. Even though it says you're not viewing my stream, you're only listening. I like that there's a badge for that. God, the sound levels are so messed up again. What a nightmare. And I bet it was this ringtone that caused it. Really shouldn't be dozing off right before a trial starts anyway. Huh. Looks like they hung up. Ah, good. I finally found it. Talk about a close call. I hate to do this to you, but... It's nothing personal, Mr. Attorney. A few minutes later, District Court Defendant Lobby number 1. Ow. Oh, my head. It's throbbing. And why does it feel so foggy in here? Good morning! Ah! Good morning. What's wrong? You don't look well. People are at their best the first thing in the morning. Where's that fighting spirit? Sorry, but can you please turn the cheeriness down? My head sort of hurts. Roger that. Am I in trouble or something? Hey, Ayla, it's feeling froggy in here. Yes, it is. In more ways than one. Huh? Trouble? Wait, never mind. You're a policewoman, right? I thought maybe I had done something wrong. What are you talking about? I'm the one in trouble. What? I'm placing my life in your hands today, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Life in my hands? You promised me. You said you would prove that I was not guilty. Not guilty? Just when I thought all hope was lost, when all other lawyers had laughed me off. Leave it to me, you said. You, the one and only Phoenix Wright, came to save the day. And just like that, I was moved to tears, sir. Hey, Ephraim, I hate amnesia. Yeah. But that's what we're going with. We gotta have that tutorial plot in there somehow. I'll never forget what you're doing for me, ever. What is this girl babbling about? Actually, I really love to watch court proceedings, and I always root for you to win. When I'm off duty, I like to come here and... What's wrong? You've been acting really strange, and you keep staring at me. You're making me kind of nervous, sir. Oh, sorry. Afraid to ask, but here goes. So this might sound bad, but, who are you? What? Mr. Wright, how can you say that? How can you do this to the fragile heart of a girl about to go on trial? You're absolutely horrible. No, I mean, I didn't mean it like that. Is this how a defense attorney treats his client, sir? I can't believe this. No, it's just, well, I think you have the wrong person. Yes, who am I? Why am I drawing a blank? The trial will begin shortly. Will the defendant and her lawyer please proceed to the courtroom immediately? Trial's about to start. Counting on you in there, okay? Guess I must have amnesia. Let's see. What can I piece together? From the sound of things, it's probably safe to say that I'm a defense attorney. And that girl, I said I'd prove her not guilty. Can't believe I made such an irresponsible promise. Someone please tell me this is just a bad dream. Why do I get the feeling this is one dream I won't be waking up from? September 8th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. Also, just to clarify real quick, these games all take place one after another. So this is the same, this is the same year that, the previous case just happened. It's just several months later. That was in February, so now it's September. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. What is it, Mr. Wright? Are you talking to me? Do you see any of the defense attorneys here? I guess not. Now then, are you ready? No. I'm fetzing with the and took place in the future. Yeah. We gotta... That's gonna come up later. Okay, I gotta futz with the sound a bit more. What if I said no? Would that be alright? Of course it wouldn't! Then why bother to ask to begin with? Actually, you see, Your Honor, my memory is kind of... The court will not hear the defense's excuses. Because the defendant is a member of the police, this case is under great scrutiny. Therefore, we must make this trial fair but swift. I believe you have told you this before. I hope you're not telling me you've forgotten. Actually, I have. I miss when we were going through the dates these games happened. There was that Twitter account that posted everything that happened on that day. Yeah. Well, they'll do it again, because when they get to the second trilogy in 2026, if Twitter's still around, they'll be able to do it then. Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Yes, Your Honor. As I'm sure you are well aware, the defendant is accused of killing her lover. What's worse, her lover was a fellow police officer.
A policeman? You did what to a policeman? It wasn't me. And besides, Dustin and I, we weren't lovers like that.
In any case, the prosecution will prove that the guilty party is none other than the defendant.
Very well. Mr. Payne, please call your first witness. You're just now noticing the feathers on birds' clothing, yeah.
It's been a while, Mr. Wright. Let's see what you've learned since last time.
This animation is new to this game specifically, and it has a reason for existing, but you won't find out until the next game.
I won't show you any mercy this time, rookie.
Okay. And who are you again?
The prosecution calls Detective Dick Gumshoe to the stand.
Here we go. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. Nowhere to hide. I'm so dead. Objection. How's it going, King Karma? Didn't know at the time, but you know what he's doing? Yeah, he's flipping the bird. Actually, Ephraim, it's funny you mentioned flipping the bird because there's something regarding that directly that gets brought up in the next case and was changed for this collection.
Witness. Oh, whoa. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir. You don't look very well, detective. Well, sir, the defendant, she works under me, so, you know... You work under that detective? Yes, sir, and while I was a trainee, he was always watching out for me, sir. He's such a wonderful guy, sir. I'll never forget what he's done for me. Okay, calm down, I believe you.
Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder.
So, done so many playthroughs of the original sprites, you're not used to the HD sprites at all? Yeah, same. Some of them look okay, some of them are really weird. The worst is when you see, like, the cutaway to the courtroom, and you look at the sprites of, like, Phoenix and the prosecutors at their desk. They just look very weird, because it's AI upscaled. It was, like, an early, like, AI upscaler, back when, you know, they were doing that with, like, FF9 and stuff like that. It happened at the park near headquarters, Expose Park. Yeah, they used to use the style for trailers. The victim was one of the local cops, Dustin Prince. He was pushed down from the benches on the upper path, sir. The landing beat up his body bad and snapped his neck.
The details are listed in the report that was distributed yesterday.
Oh yes, this autopsy report, correct? Why did I not remember to get a copy? Or why do I not remember getting a copy? I see everything is in order here. Even the estimated time of death is unusually well documented. The victim's watch stopped from the impact of the landing, sir. The results of the autopsy confirm the time of death.
If I may, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to submit this photograph.
Very well, the court accepts it into evidence. Crime photo 1 added to the court record. Now then, I recall at yesterday's preliminary hearing, a very important piece of evidence was brought to our attention.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Yes, I guess? I know, at least for Apollo Justice, sprites were actually originally made high resolution and downscale for the DS. Yes, which is why it's funny when you get to that one part where it uses the sprites from the first game, and it looks very weird and downgraded. The sprites are like so much smaller in that game than the high definition ones. The redo looks really good. The collection version. It looks like they're really going through the trouble of redoing a lot of the graphics for Apollo Justice. Mr. Wright, is your head on right today? There's a very crucial piece of evidence found under the victim's body. Was there? Have you lost your mind? Well, actually, it's just nerves. Give me a second. What? How can you talk like such an amateur? I thought you were a pro, sir. Alright, sir, I'll help you through this. At a time like this, maybe you ought to take a glance at the court record. Court record? Yep. Info about the evidence and people are with the case are all listed in there, sir. Blah, blah, blah. You get to see the funny CGI cutscenes in HD, yes. I mean, they didn't look terrible in the Rise from the Ashes, but could have been better. You can look at the court record by pressing the R button. The R button, huh? You really know what you're talking about, don't you? What's the R button? Too bad I'm a cop, right? Just think, I could totally be a legal aid instead. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Court is in session. Save your chit-chat for later. Sorry, Your Honor. Well, I guess I'd better check the court record and see what I could find. Attorney's badge. All-important badge. Shows I'm a defense attorney. Cell phone. I found this in my pocket, but I don't remember what it means or how it got there. Dustin's autopsy report. Time of death, September 6th. Hey, that was a month ago. A month ago today. At 6:28 p.m. Cause of death, broken neck. Body was also covered in bruises. Glasses. Found on the victim's body. Pieces of nearsighted lenses were found nearby. Victim fell from the walking path above. Maggie Bird, 22. My client. The only thing I can recall is that she's a policewoman. Dustin Prince. The victim and a policeman. It seems that he was dating the defendant, Maggie Bird. Winston Payne, 53. The prosecutor for this case. Lacks presence. Generally bad at getting his points across. Detective at the local precinct in charge of the initial investigation. What was it again? The R button? Alright, Mr. Wright, let's see if your notes are in order. What was the piece of evidence found on the victim's body? That's simple, Your Honor. A broken pair of glasses. Welcome back, Karma. Just had fun with the cute lizard? Nice. Lizards are very fun to have fun with. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's right. The victim grabbed his killer's glasses as he was being shoved, sir. And he held on to them as he fell. Hey, why are you giving me the evil eye? Those glasses you're wearing. Yes, this is my spare pair. But these glasses they found at the scene of the crime are not mine, I swear, sir. You sure about that? Are you sure about that? Look, it was a coincidence that on that same day I accidentally stepped on mine. A coincidence, she says, irk. I read this UK for a second. I have someone from the UK coming over on Saturday, actually. Your Honor, I have further evidence to present. Oh, you have more? And this evidence is very decisive. I like how I only just got a name for that Swablu I mentioned you got last time. My game has been kind of just on the naming screen since then. We've also been busy all day, so that's not too bad. I've had my DS in sleep mode for days previously. Same with the Switch. It's been okay, cool. People sending me inappropriate messages during the stream. Very mature, guys. Let's hear from our witness about this evidence. There's something even more incriminating than the glasses under the body, sir. During his date, the victim was pushed from the bench area, but he managed to write the culprit's name on the ground where he landed. I don't like saying it, but it was clearly the defendant's name, Maggie, sir. With this piece of evidence and the glasses, it's hard not to say he's the culprit, or she's the culprit. Too much effort for this court to spare. You could check the glasses by checking at the lens grade, yeah. This is a picture of the writing, Your Honor. Why, this is... Yes, I can clearly see her name is written here. The prosecution would like to submit this photo. Understood. The court accepts it into evidence. Photo of the area around the victim's hand. As if the glasses alone don't make you look suspicious. The victim even wrote your name clear as day on the ground. But I already told you, these glasses aren't mine. And how do you explain his dying message? It's a conspiracy. I'm not guilty, sir. This is the flimsiest case ever. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. It needs to be, because Phoenix needs an excuse to fumble through this, even with, amnesia. Cross-examine? This is it. I'm counting on you. Sure, but what am I supposed to do? What? This isn't like you at all. Normally this is the part where you get in the witnesses' faces. Get in the faces and do what? I guess there's no way around it. Okay, I'm going to lend you a hand. The prosecution's witnesses all hide things from the court, which means they lie from time to time. Lie? But isn't the detective your superior? Well, even if they don't mean to lie, sometimes people just remember things wrong. Like that detective, he does sort of look like a scatterbrain. Doesn't matter. Either way, it's bad for us, sir. That's why when you question witnesses, you have to find and expose their lies. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Talk about trial by fire. Here goes nothing. As long as I can expose the lies, we should be all right. Are you absolutely certain? Sorry, pal, but that's what it said. Ugh. This is a picture of it. No matter which way you look at it, it still says Maggie. He's got a point. Hey, hold on. Huh? Don't harm me. I know the picture says Maggie, but now that she mentions it, something does feel kind of off about this picture. That's how you know you found a contradiction. Now hurry up and present some evidence. So that's what spotting a contradiction feels like. So that's what basic human comprehension feels like. I better check the court record again. Don't give up. Keep that fighting spirit going. I'm glad you're all pumped up, but I really want to see your special moves, sir. My what? You always look so cool when you present evidence. Present evidence? Huh. Oh, that present evidence. Enlighten me. About this presenting evidence. Okay, when you're listening to testimony, you can compare it with the court record. The reason I'm showing this off is because there is something different from this game and the first game. If you do that, you're sure to find contradictions in the witnesses' statements. Contradictions? Well, there are many reasons why a testimony might contradict the evidence. The witness might be lying, or they may just be mistaken. And? You still have no idea what I'm talking about? When you find a contradiction, open the court record to the item you need, and then I present the evidence, right? You got it. You can also present people's profiles as evidence, so this is a new thing. For this game and the third game, you can actually present people's just profiles as evidence instead, and it does come up a lot. It pretty much doubles the amount of evidence you have at any given time, which is why I'm glad that the sequel trilogy does not do that, because it makes some of the cases a little bloated. With so many items, make sure you present the right thing. Sounds complicated, but I'll give it a try. You're pretty good at this. Wow, being praised by a pro. I don't know what to say. So now that I'm past that roadblock, we know that Maggie's name is spelled M-A-G-G-E-Y, not M-A-G-G-I-E. Which you'd think everyone would notice when they took the friggin' picture to begin with. What is it? What's come over me? Without thinking, I just blurted out objection. And yelled it at the top of my lungs. I almost said top of my finger. And I yelled it at the top of my lungs, finger outstretched, ready to take on my opponent. What a rush! Detective Gumshoe. You talking to me, pal? Please state the defendant's name for me. What are you trying to prove with this futile exercise, Mr. Wright? You'll see. This is a very crucial line of questioning. That should be instant. How can he write so good with his head stuck like that? Is there sand under the fingernail? But no, you're supposed to point out that the name is spelt wrong, yeah. Well, I mean, it's the most obvious thing to begin with, other than the fact that, you know, death should have been instantaneous. Actually, Mr. Payne, you can answer. The defendant's name, if you please. You love this objection theme, yeah? I don't know which one of the original trilogy I like the most in terms of music, but this game definitely grew on me. This one I was kind of sour on at first, but it got better over time. The third game's music, I feel, is just like a big step up, though.
Where is this ridiculous question coming from?
The defendant's name is, Maggie Bird. I think someone needs to check the court record.
What? It says right here that it's Maggie Bird.
Ah! Looks like the bird caught the cat napping. What's going on here? I have no idea either, sir. As you can see, the victim did indeed leave a name, Maggie. However, the defendant's name is actually spelled M-A-G-G-E-Y. This is a blatant contradiction of facts. Oh, how about that? I didn't even notice.
But maybe the victim didn't know how to spell her name correctly.
I think it's so funny that the music in the third game was so good already. The only one that didn't get updated was the only one that didn't get updated for the DS version. I mean, this game didn't really get updated either, did it? I was under the impression that both the second and third games just kind of got, like, a direct translation to DS as well as remastered, like the original game. I guess this is a little higher quality, but, like, you could tell some of the music is lower quality.
Maybe the victim didn't know how to spell her name correctly.
All the music was updated a bit in the first two games, okay. May I remind you that it was you who said, the defendant is accused of killing her lover. If they were truly lovers, it would be impossible for him to not have known her name.
No!
These look weird. Those look weird in HD. It's so obviously, like, AI upscaled that it's like, it's not that good. It's smeared. It's like an oil painting. Oil paintings, okay, this is very true. Mr. Payne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you absolutely certain the defendant and the victim, Dustin Prince, were, in fact, lovers?
Yes, I am quite certain, Your Honor. They were a well-known couple in the police force.
Detective Gumshoe, please testify for the court about the relationship between the victim and the defendant. Yes, sir. Dustin and Maggie. Officer Prince and Officer Bird have been going out for about half a year. It sounded like they were even talking about marriage. After half a year? Damn. Also, half a year from September 6th is March 6th, so it lines up almost right after Rise from the Ashes took place. Also, I didn't take a screenshot of it, I forgot to, but in Rise from the Ashes, when you see inside Gumshoe's locker, there's actually a photo of Maggie on the inside of the door. I forgot to take a screenshot of it, but I did mention it when I was playing. Hey, V2. Team leads and friends and coworker gave me some gifts as a congrats on transferring. Oh, that's so nice of them. What's weird is I think they did redraw them for the 3DS version, probably upscaled from that. Why didn't they just have the original high-resolution assets from that? I don't know. Who knows? The day of the incident just happened to be the victim's birthday, sir. Officer Bird had gotten Officer Prince a present. It was something she had bought over 2 months ago. I should know, because she came to me to ask what she should get for him. Oh, those two really sound like they were close.
Nevertheless, tragedy struck.
Yes, I see. You may cross-examine the witness, Mr. Wright.
Dustin and Maggie.
Don't forget, an hour before June doesn't mean it's half a year yet. It wouldn't, because June is not half a year. Remember, June is part of the first half of the year. July 1st is halfway through the year. Over 2 months ago. Yep, she's a very considerate woman, pal. So, what was this birthday present? She got him a glove. A single glove? Why would you only give him one? Actually, Your Honor, the glove in question is a baseball glove. Oh, I see, a baseball glove. Officer Prince was a huge baseball fan. Baseball glove, Just now, I believe you said that the present was something she had bought over 2 months ago. Yeah? Are you saying she bought that glove at a store that far in advance? Nah, nothing like that, pal. And what is it like? She ordered it. It was custom made. Custom made? The glove was custom made? Yep, that's what I said. So the glove was custom made. Your Honor, I really don't see how this glove is related to this case. Yes, it would seem like there's little relevance. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Think this glove is really relevant to this case? Of course it's relevant. I don't know where this will lead me, but... Of course it's relevant. That glove is key to this whole case. Yes, bluffing to the max. Now this is the Mr. Wright I know. I'm so happy you're back, sir. I was wondering how long it'd take. This is great. Pressing people. Feels like I've done this before. As if I used to do this to squeeze information from even the most tight-lipped people. Updating the shitpost a minute before Christmas doesn't mean it's Christmas yet, yeah. Very well. If you're that convinced, then let's hear some more about the matter. Actually, I brought the glove with me here today. And? Why didn't you say so earlier? Hurry and show the glove to the court. Well, I didn't think it had anything to do with this case. Anyway, this is it, sir. Look at this fucking glove. Look at this amazing baseball glove. It's, rather yellow, isn't it? A birthday present from Maggie to the victim. It was custom made. Officer Prince really liked the color yellow. Hey, I like this guy. I mean, Officer Prince sounds like a great guy, a great dude. I'm sorry he died. And that's why you had to special order it? Yep, that's right. That and one other reason. I think this court has heard enough. It's clear that the victim and the defendant were involved with each other. Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. Now, if that's true, it brings up an important question. Was the name Maggie really written by the victim? I see your point, Your Honor. Detective Gumshoe, please tell the court a little more about the name on the ground. Yes, sir. Just remember there was another set of HD sprites that predated the 3DS version. There was an HD iPad version that had really bad sprites that were just traced over the originals. I think I remember those. I remember seeing them and being like, ugh. iPad version's so weird. Someone introduced more bugs and typos in the original release. That's weird. You would think they would just pasted the same script over. Writing on the ground. We first looked into the handwriting. Unfortunately, we couldn't confirm that it was the victim's handwriting. Next, we checked the victim's pointer finger. We found that there was sand trapped under the victim's fingernail. There were also scratches on his skin that were caused by him writing on the ground. From this, we could confirm that the victim wrote this name with his right hand. Yes, a perfectly logical conclusion. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Thank you, Your Honor. Writing on the ground. We first looked into the handwriting. Unfortunately, we couldn't confirm it was the victim's handwriting. Next, we checked the victim's pointer finger, and there was sand trapped under the victim's fingernail. There's also scratches on his skin that were caused by him writing on the ground. This, we can confirm that the victim wrote his name with his right hand. Sad you didn't get to raid me? Oh, it's okay. Bug I remember most is some important profile you had to present had the wrong text. They had the text for Gumshoe. Wow. There's apparently a glitch in this collection where you can present profiles in the first Ace Attorney game. And, it doesn't do anything, it just presents, like, the basic, like, they have no response for this evidence thing. Are you absolutely sure? I believe in the power of science. Wonder if my evidence is solid enough to counter with. Listening to this, you would think there was only one conclusion. That the name was definitely written by the victim. But don't you think that would be really strange, sir? If Dustin really wrote that message with his right hand, do you think I would have gone to that much trouble to get him his present? The present? What about it? I like how even she has to be cryptic about it, so she just doesn't spell it out for you. A birthday present from Maggie to the victim. It was custom made. I feel like I don't have enough information. I know what to present, but can you really determine handwriting based on a sample written in the sand? This is why amateurs are amateurs. We're not a bunch of simpletons, pal. Scientific investigation in this country is actually pretty good. I believe it's time to get back to the real point. Agreed, Your Honor. So what was the result of the investigation? Whatever. Detective Gumshoe, take a look at this. That's the glove, right? Could you tell the court what's so special about this glove? What's special? Never really thought about it, but, it's really yellow, and that's about it. Yes, it's really yellow, but that's only one of its qualities. Apparently that awful version was only taken down and replaced with a new collection only a year ago. I'll have to look it up. After I finish this case, I'm going to look up the iPad version. Yellow, however, it being yellow is only one of its unique qualities. Huh? God, I hope there's a log. Well, I mean, there should be, because the 3DS games had logs in the next collection. Because not being able to scroll back through the text is annoying. There's another reason why it's special. And what would that be? It's very simple. This glove is made for a left-handed person. Left-handed? Well, you're absolutely right. This glove is made to be worn on the right hand. That is why it had to be custom-made. I've never seen a bright yellow left-hander's glove for sale, have you? Well, no. So, Detective, which hand did the victim use to write the name with again? That's easy. Look, it's obvious from this picture it was... Wait a second. Don't forget that the victim was left-handed. Ah!
I object.
Overruled. Mr. Wright, I would like to know what your line of reasoning proves. There's only one conclusion that can be drawn. A left-handed person could not have written a message with his right hand. That's not true. He could have been ambidextrous. Therefore, the person who wrote the name Maggie could not have been the victim. Ugh. Oil painting. Order, order! When you think about it that way, then yes. It's not possible that this name was written by the victim himself. Then that means Maggie is...
No, it's not possible!
Mr. Payne?
Yes, Your Honor.
The evidence prosecution has presented has failed to prove the defendant's guilt. In fact, I believe you've proven her to be innocent.
No!
Alright, you did it, Mr. Wright. If they were ambidextrous, they would have ordered 2 pairs. I don't think that's how it works, Karma. Karma, you really are the king of logic, let me tell you. Oh yeah, we talked about music earlier. The port actually used the GBA versions of the music for whatever reason. That port, wow. You did it, Mr. Wright. Phew, I feel like I could breathe again. It seems that we've reached this conclusion. You did a fine job once again, Mr. Wright. Me, Your Honor? Well, thank you, sir. See, you got complimented by the judge again. You're really good. And that's why you can't give up being a lawyer, sir. You joking? I'm more than ready to retire. I will now announce my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird...
No, not yet! I mean, please give me a few more minutes, Your Honor.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Payne?
The prosecution is not finished yet.
What do you mean?
We would like to call our next witness to the stand.
What? And what did this witness, witness?
The moment the victim was pushed to his death. What's more, he saw the very face of the culprit.
What the heck?
What the for...
Order in the court. I believe a recess is in order. Afterwards, we will hear from this new witness. I had a feeling this was a bit too easy. I need more information. I'll have to see what I can find out during this recess. Can't let my guard down. It's only going to get tougher from here. Hey, Atman. Murph. Recess puffs. Court is adjourned for recess. Is really the to be continued already? Yeah, wow, it is. This case is a lot shorter than I remember it being. Yep, the jingle's different. September 8th, 11:43 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. I mean, this case, no case is as short as the first case from the first game. That's still clearly the shortest, but this one is pretty dang short. This is technically a checkpoint for the GBA version that doesn't let you save anywhere. Really? The GBA version doesn't let you save everywhere? Because the DS versions did. Like every time you bounce, it shows up. Yeah. I couldn't make it any bigger, Karma, sorry. Because otherwise the proportions would just look weird. It would look way too small. GBA, no. Oh, really? I had no idea. Because the DS had Save Anywhere. September 8th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Okay. You didn't explain? Well, no, it's fine. You did explain, okay. Amnesia? I can't believe my lawyer's trying to defend me in such a state. Why didn't you tell me, sir? I'm sorry I didn't mention it to you. Oh, I know what to do. I heard you could fix something like this with a really strong shock to your system. Come on, lower your head a little. A Maggie kick should be all you need. No. I think I'll pass on that one. Come on. I'm sorry. Whenever I see someone in trouble, I have a hard time leaving them alone. I tend to stick my nose where it doesn't belong and try to tackle everyone's problems. Well, my head's one problem you won't be tackling today. Well, we're here to solve your problem first. We could deal with mine later. For now, do you think you could fill me in on a few things? Of course, I'd be honored to. Well, I guess we'll start with my name and then I can tell you about me. No, that's okay. Really, I think I know you and your name pretty well by now. I was wondering if you could help me figure out a few things about myself. So my name is Phoenix Wright, right? What a weird name. This is serious. You really don't remember, do you? I'll tell you what, sir. You can have this back, and maybe it'll help. This is a business card? I got this from you. It's my most prized possession. It's kind of sad. You can borrow it for now, but please give it back, okay? Okay. There's some numbers written on the back. Numbers? Whoa. There's some numbers written on the back. I remember being able to load partway through on the final case in the previous owner's save. Oh, you got it used? Nice. Oh, that's your cell phone number. Phoenix's business card. It's my business card. I handwrote my cell phone number on the back. Guess for now we should stop talking about me. Can't actually look at it. And start talking about this case. This case? Yup. Can you think of anything that would be helpful for me to know? What can I tell you? I can't think of anything other than the incident with the cell phone, but... Cell phone? Yeah, your eyes lit up when we talked about it at the detention center, sir. Hurry up then and tell me. This might be very important. Okay, Roger. Like how in a group of spirit medium of forensic scientists and other types, Maggie's the only normal one. Well, she's got insane bad luck. Really wish I could read Japanese, because it would be a neat novelty to actually play those versions, yeah. Have you played the... Did you ever play the fan-translated version of the first case of the third game? Because I had seen it when it came out. Like, the day it came out, back in 2006. And I played it, and I remember enjoying it a lot, and I was like, man, I hope they release the other two games here. Which then became 4, and then 5, and then 6. Which they didn't release the 6th one over here. Then 7 and 8, they did release over here. Insane bad luck. Finally, somebody you could relate to. Yeah, Karma. They're just like you. That's still up, in fact. Yeah. Haven't looked, but I know the cool stuff with that. The official localization took a bit from that. Yeah, they did. The official comeback courtroom. Yep. I'll show some of that off when I eventually play the third game. Maggie's you as an extrovert and as a lady. Well, she's the queen of misfortune, and you're the king of misfortune. That's 3 times now I've called you king this entire stream. I wonder if that's, if that means anything. It was on the day of the crime, just before 6 p.m. I picked up a lost cell phone while on the walk with Dustin. All of a sudden, the phone began to ring. Hello? Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone. Is this yours? Oh, I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back. I'll be right there. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. You can call me Maggie. Look at that blue badger shirt she has on. Jesus Christ, in a cheese cracker bowl. What kind of type of ringtone is that? You don't know that song? It's the, it's that song from history that I know the name of. No, I'm joking. I'm not looking it up. I don't know how I would look... See, looking up music is the worst thing ever. Because you have to, like, know how to search for, like, if you don't know the name of the song. We agree to meet up at 6 p.m. It's a box song, yeah. You can never remember names from those days because they never name them. It's probably an E2... It's probably a type of song number. It's like etude number 6 or something like that. So that's kind of impossible to port the official English text into the GBA version, since the Japanese version there are 2 lines of text at a time instead of 3. It'd be too much work to change that. It wouldn't fit with the GBA's aspect ratio. Well, Ayla, let me tell you, that is actually something that has been done now. In fact, I was specifically watching a video about that. Hold on, I will get you the link to it. Where's the, why is it bringing up the Great Ace Attorney? That's not what I want. I've already played the Great Ace Attorney. Here it is. Assume no one will bother to, because why would you do that? I mean, they do have it, like, cut up. The line, some lines are cut up because of the length of the English text. But it does exist. Not only does it exist, but they also imported the changed graphics from the DS version's English version into the GBA version, like the objection text, the changed cold medicine bottle. That's all translated, and the voice clips are compressed down to GBA quality as well. That it has been done. I was actually just watching it the other day too. Imagine if the plot twist is that Edgeworth is a descendant of Herlock. Well, I would assume he's more the descendant of Van Zeeks, if anything else. Toccata and Fugue or something. Yeah, it's probably that. Fugue sounds like a yummy dessert. No, that would be, fuck, I don't know. I have nothing. We agreed to meet up at 6 p.m. We've completely derailed this conversation. Dustin and I waited for the person to show up, but they never did. So where's the phone you found now? I gave it to you yesterday. Huh? To me? Is that the phone in my pocket? You mean this? Do you think it has anything to do with the murder? I don't really know, but if my eyes lit up... Ah, you were here all along! You're so mean! I called you 1,000,000 times, but you wouldn't pick up. And when I went to check into the courtroom, everyone had already left. Ah, now who in the heck is this? Let me guess, I'm supposed to know this girl too? Hey, good morning, Maggie. And a good morning to you too, Maya. So, how's it going? Is there a word for worse than abysmal? Oh, and what if I said that everything will be fine? That's right, it's Maya to the rescue with the ultra-decisive, super-important evidence. Here you are, Nick. That thing you wanted me to bring. Surprised there aren't more fan translations that aren't just porting the official localization version that we didn't get. I would love to play the Wii U version of Yakuza, for example. Oh, interesting. I forgot there was a Yakuza game on Wii U. It's like the only one. The only Yakuza game on a Nintendo system. Huh? Oh, thanks. What the heck is this, a list? It has about 20 people's names and phone numbers written on it. It was kinda tough, but I did manage to dig up some dirt. It looks like these guys are up to no good. No good, as in, there's a group of con artists the police are currently investigating. I think these guys are members of that group. List of unfamiliar names and numbers. Members of a con artist group? Why would a group of con artists pop up in a case like this? Can't actually look at it. Don't look at me. And where did you get this list from in the first place? What? Don't you remember, Nick? You're the one who asked me to look this up yesterday. Oh, is that right? These numbers were in the memory of that phone Maggie found. So that's what they're from. You're awfully forgetful these days, Nick. I hope I never get to be a forgetful old prune like you. Maya, actually, Mr. Wright is... Mr. Wright, recess is now over. Please bring the defendant and return to the courtroom immediately. Oh, oops. Guess you have to get going. We can talk about you being old later, Nick. Wish us luck. Guess I have all the pieces now, more or less. All that's left is to put it all together. I'm not going to lose this. I can't. Come on, Nick. Better get a move on. Yeah. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is an interesting Japan-only Saturn port. I think that's gotten an English patch. I'm not sure. I know all about the Saturn version of Symphony of the Night. I would love to play it because it has a whole extra area in it. Just like the cut off their line bit. Yeah. They do that a lot in the series. September 8th, 11:54 a.m. Anyway, Maya's back at the saddle with us. Court will now reconvene. Please call your next witness to the stand, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. But before I do, if I may say a few words...
What is it, Mr. Payne?
It's about the next witness. He has a tendency to say things that rub people the wrong way, you see. So I ask the court might be a little lenient on...
There's no need to give a preface. Just hurry up and call your witness, please. Still needs to play Symphony of the Night at some point. It's fun. It's a fun game. I've played the PSP version with the redub, which is pretty good. The redub has a couple of interesting lines in it that the original does not have.
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution calls its next witness a drifter who was taking a walk in the park on the day of the murder. Please state your name for the court, witness.
Before I do, I'd like to clarify a little something.
Huh? Oh, alright, go ahead.
Just now you introduced my wonderful self to the court, correct? Perhaps as a drifter who was taking a walk.
Did I?
But I will not stand for that. Now you've tinted the court's eyes and colored me wrongly. I suppose calling me a university student would be the absolute truth, but to call justice would be said in my most top-grade... I'm merely looking for the perfect, top-notch, unbeatable university, you see? I have a rigorous selection process I was thinking about as I went through my walk.
Yes, I understand. I'm very sorry. I'll be more careful from now on.
What is he, a human chatterbox? I have to question him? Fashion, cars, women, glasses, and of course, university. First rates only need apply. Yeah, hey, old bag, your grandson is here, old bag mail edition, yeah. So my back's a little itchy, scratching it. Yeah, sorry, I forgot he talks fast. I was not prepared to keep up with that. Own the PSP version yourself, but I want to play the original dub, to be honest. It's too iconic, yeah. The redub sounds more professional, but there's a part where a character says, "What have I done?" And in the redub, it's so ridiculous sounding. It's like, no! What have I done?! It's like, he like screams it. Like how me and Ephraim are sometimes in the same brainlet. Yeah, we all are at times. Actually, the PS1 version is Steam Deck already, but I'd gotten it primarily to use Psycho Mantis. Would tell you played it when you played MGS on there. I mean, it's a very fun game to play. It's not long, either. You could probably finish it in, like, a couple days. What line is that? After you beat the standard castle. After you beat the first castle in the redub. It's a line at the very end of it. Anyway, essentially what he was saying is that he was pissed off that he was called a drifter, and he was talking about how he's technically unemployed and not in class or school right now, and he has some sort of super high standards in order to choose a university that he wants to go to, which is really dumb. He's more or less covering for the fact that he's probably an idiot who doesn't go to school. Glasses? But you aren't wearing glasses. That's enough. Your name, witness. Beef Wellington. Oh, is that how you want to play this? Using your power and influence to keep the young people down. I see how you work now. You old people and your dirty tricks. You thought you had me, but you thought wrong. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Yeah, he's a NEET. He's just a well-dressed NEET. I forgive you. Alright, I suppose I could tell you my name. I am Richard Wellington, the drifting virtuoso, with a PhD in drifting, as it were. If you wanted to, you could call me a university student in transit.
Ahem, Mr. Wellington. On the day of the murder, you were taking strolling through the park, correct?
It would appear that you are attached to that word. If you must, then by all means. But I remind you that I am on... Oh, whoa, my ear. But I remind you that I am in no way a prepubescent boy, out on a walk with my mommy. If you must know, I am...
Anyway, please testify to this court what you saw during your walk to the park.
See, you said it again, taking a walk. You know, you... What you witnessed will do, Mr. Wellington. What I saw that day. I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. All of a sudden, a police officer falls from above, right in front of my eyes. Without a thought, I looked up there and met the eyes of a charming young lady. Of course I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant right there. The only other thing I saw was that banana that fell along with the police officer. That was certainly a decisive testimony.
Decisive? Nick, did you hear what he just said?
Yeah,
that's all you have to say? How could you be so calm?
It's strange. My mind is very calm and clear. Maybe it's because I believe in my client.
You mean Maggie?
Yes, and if she really is innocent, then that can only mean one thing. That guy is lying! You may now question the witness, Mr. Wright. I'll find out the truth, no matter how well you craft your lies. Park over to do it. Beep, 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 beep. So you were at the park all afternoon. You seem to have a lot of free time. That was very rude of you, but then again, what can I expect? That's what you get from a man who graduated from a no-name, trashy university. No-name? Trashy? Now, this might be hard for a mush-headed, feeble-minded baboon like you, but... Doesn't baboon have two B's? Two B-B-O-O-N? Maybe not. I think it's one... I have to think very carefully about the future of our great country. I thought you said you were just thinking about which college to go to just now. Oh, please. Which university I go to will directly affect the very future of this country. That arrogant little snot. Ah, my leg is itchy. So, I got... Just on a whim, I checked the back of my knees yesterday. Because my whole life I've had an issue where I, like, scratch them too much and they get very dry. And, the back of my knees are purple. I did not know that. I have some bad eczema going on back there. I don't know if I can ever, like, my skin's ever gonna fully recover from that. I didn't know, too, like, I knew I always had red marks on the back of my kneecaps because I scratched them. I didn't realize it was, like, that bad, though. I don't remember well the time, but it was past 6 p.m. I'm getting distracted way too much here. How'd you know what time it was? I see you're not wearing a watch, so... Is that the best you can do? Do you think you could discredit me like that? You're just a third-rate, biased fool. Guess I can't expect real smarts from you. This arrogance is really intolerable. So what should I do now? Answer the question. How did you know what time it was? I can't believe I have to deal with a worm like you. This takes place like right after Pokemon Go came out. He was in the park doing that all day. You're right. It was 20... Wait, no. Pokemon Go was 2015. Wait, no. Was it 2016? I can't remember now. No, it was 2015. Okay, so it was at 2016. No, that can't be right. 2016 is when Sun and Moon... Wait, no. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was 2018. No, 2018 was Let's Go. 2017 was Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. 2016 was Sun and Moon. Wait. Did Pokemon Go come out the same year as Sun and Moon? It did, because 2015 nothing came out. That's why. Yeah, so you're right. You're actually you're exactly right. Yeah, July like 4th or 5th or 8th. It was like the first week of July. Can't believe I have to deal with a worm like you. You're just a shallow man who can only slam on desks and point at people for fun. Guess I don't have a choice. I'll try to explain it so that even a third-rate simpleton like you can understand. There was this little thing they call a clock at the park. Did you get that? Do you know what a clock is? It's the thing that tells you the time. As you can see, Mr. Wright, it's even in the picture of the crime scene. Oh, so it is. I looked at that clock and that's how I knew the time. But if you ask me, this whole concept of breaking time apart into fragments, it's nonsense that most people shouldn't follow. A real first-class person doesn't live by time. And aware of watch? Huh. People should live freely without constraints. That's how it should be. And yet again, another flood of meaningless words. Talk about a first-class waste of time. In any case, I got confused because 2015 there was no Pokemon game at all. There was no game, no Pokemon Go, nothing. And we really should do that again. Like, in 2024. No Pokemon games, please. We've had enough for a bit. And how did you know he was the police officer? You obviously have no idea how powerful my deductive reasoning skills are. With one glance, I could tell you what kind of occupation he held. That shoddy do-it-yourself hairstyle practically screamed I'm a police officer, not the way he tied his hair in those scalps. I also suppose it's because he was wearing an officer's uniform. Shouldn't that statement have come first? Wow, that's pretty impressive. Hey, Nick, do you think he's figured out what I do? Even I haven't figured that out yet. Surprised you didn't read your Wellington roast. It's funny because you said Wellington roast. Like beef Wellington. That's a roast? Saying you want to do things to Wellington makes me think you're horny for him. Are you sure you got a good look at her face? Animals have this thing called an eye, Mr. Wright. They use an eye to see things. In the case of humans, we have two of them. Yes, even you. I don't care if I have them or not. Did you or did you not get a clear look at her face? That's what the witness is just about to get to. I would like to request that Mr. Wright not use such a loud voice during questioning. Further back. Oh. Sustained. Mr. Wright, please refrain from raising your voice in this court. And please don't make me have to raise my voice. Oh, about the school? That he should lower his standards? Yeah. Are you finished? I'd like to continue if that's alright with you. Of course I remember her sweet face. It was the head of the pretty defendant there. Self-proclaimed drifting virtuoso who's still looking for the right college. Age 22. He's the same age as Maggie. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I see it. Yeah. He's up his own ass, is what you're saying. So you're sure you're not mistaken? Please, don't confuse me with your train wreck of a life. Oh my god. Don't confuse your pitiful train wreck of a life with mine. I'm what you call a famous brand name product, while you're only a cheap imitation. There's no way someone as magnificent as myself could have made a mistake. Of course, of course. Oh, of course. Did you notice anything else of interest, witness? The only thing I saw was that banana that fell with the police officer. That banana? Well, it was actually more like just one. More like a bunch of bananas. Now, what would a bunch of bananas be doing there? And why would I know such a thing? And why would I know such a thing? I'm only telling you what I saw. That's really strange. Maggie never mentioned anything about a bunch of bananas. That's it, Nick. He's gotta be lying about the bananas. Could be, but there's no reason for him to lie about there being bananas at the crime scene. And what if it's not a lie? Well, maybe he thought he's seeing one thing and was seeing something else? If he mistook something else for a bunch of bananas, then that would be an inaccuracy. Think, Phoenix, think! If my client is innocent, there's no way he could have done what she says she did. He says she did. Wait, did say he says he did. But, did they mean? Okay, whatever. Which means if we could somehow show he's lying... Yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. She's right, she's got a sharp mind. But I just wish I could remember who she is. Is everything okay, Nick? Anyway, banana. It's clearly the baseball glove. Mr. Wellington. I believe I have the bananas you saw, right here. Ah, so you knew about the bananas too. Why didn't you say so earlier? but don't think you could use this as a way to pull more information out of me. And that's where you'd be wrong. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
Isn't that the baseball glove?
Huh? What? A baseball glove? Doesn't it look delicious? Care for a bite? That's not... It's a... No! Now, would it intentionally pick the funny option here? Oh, I'm picking it. Don't worry. It's the line everyone's got to pick. Why is he so freaked out about it? Your Honor, I think this proves one very important fact. This witness loves bananas, has bad eyesight, knows nothing about baseball. Well, he clearly loves bananas. Mr. Wellington loves large bananas. Nick. I hope you noticed the icy glares we're getting from everyone in here. What in the world do you mean? I'll have you know I like strawberries much better than bananas. Whoops. Think it over and try one more time. Think it over one more time and try again, Mr. Wright. Loves large bananas. Ayo. Yep. This witness. Mr. Wellington has never played baseball. That would explain why he didn't know what a glove is. When I was in junior high, I was a star pitcher. Well, fourth in line, actually, but... Whoops. Oh, your internet went out? Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, Evie. Potassium. Has bad eyesight. By the way, just how bad are your eyes? Huh? How? What? Why are you asking me about that all of a sudden?
Your Honor, it's simple to mistake a glove for a bunch of bananas.
No, I don't think so. Objection overruled.
You're one of those people. Yes, you know what I mean.
You're like those people who refuse to accept Galileo for the Copernicanian theory. You're too used to the world that you're not open to new possibilities. Sure, in the end, we find out it's not, in fact, a glove, but a bananas. When viewed from afar, I do think there's room for doubt, don't you think? And that's why I asked you how bad your eyesight is. They're both 2200. I suppose you're going to tell me that's terrible, right? Why are you not wearing your glasses today, then? That's because I lost them recently, you see. Of course, I was planning on getting a new pair made right away. But you know, my glasses are no ordinary glasses, so to replace them... How about when you witnessed the crime? Were you wearing your glasses then? How about it, witness? You're an unrelenting, evil man. You're like those people who rejected Joan of Arc and put her to death. She was brave and courageous, only to be caught by horrible people. While she didn't do anything wrong, she was still burned at the... Which boils down to you not wearing your glasses at the time. Therefore, the identity of the woman at the scene of the crime and that of the defendant cannot be proven to be the same by this witness.
But the height difference was only 9 feet. It was very possible for him to see the face of the culprit standing on the upper path.
Witness, please be more accurate in your testimony. Remember, a person's life is at stake.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, please continue with your testimony.
Please tell the court what happened next in the moments after you witnessed the crime.
The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there. After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. Must have been 6:45 when I made the call. They must have a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes. So the person who was on the upper path saw you and then ran away. Yes, that's correct. Which is why even someone without a superior brain like mine can understand that. That girl is the murderer. You may question the witness now, Mr. Wright. What happened next? She ran away just like that? Yes, she did. She saw me and flew the nest like the guilty bird she is. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that pun too hard for someone who only has gotten a third-rate education? Actually, that did take me a few seconds to get. Anyway, if she ran away the instant she saw you, how could you tell it was my client? Eek! The witness has already answered that question. He has stated the defendant is the culprit.
This is true, Mr. Wright. I'm striking your question from the record.
How can I get more information out of him? Immediately, as in immediately. I mean, sure, a minute might have elapsed before I did, but that's the duty of every good citizen. Or did they not teach you that at your pitiful school? I think people learn about how to call the police in college? Hey, Nick, I think you should take a look at the court record for a sec. Cause of death, 6:28 p.m. How do you know what time it was? That detective told me. You know which one I mean. The one with the jacket that makes him look like a dropout from a no-name high school. Hey, pal, I graduated from a pretty good, top-ranked college. I don't believe this. Doesn't matter. I don't believe I was mistaken on what time I was called. And if I'm wrong, then that detective obviously doesn't know how to tell time. What? Why you're just some lousy kid who... I think the court could see your point. Anyway, how did the police respond? So you're saying that there were police on the scene by 7 p.m. They got there before that, I think. There usually aren't that many people in that area at that time of day. But suddenly, before I knew it, there were people crawling all over, gawking. It certainly says something about the morals of the people in this country. Can't find anything ordinary in his testimony. Why don't you take one more look at the court record? Yeah, I guess I should. Time of death was 6:28. That's not a minute later. It ain't immediate. Mr. Wellington, would you please take a look at this?
You mean the victim's autopsy report?
According to this, the murder occurred at 6:28 p.m.
So what of it?
You said that you called the police immediately after the murder took place. However, by the time you called the police, it was already 6:45 p.m. There's clearly a 15-minute gap here. Do you deny it? I think this court would like to hear what you were doing during those 15 minutes. The witness was in shock at the time after witnessing a terrible murder. It's only expected that he would be a little dazed. 15 minutes is hardly what I would call a little dazed. Ah!
Mr. Wellington?
Yes?
Explain yourself. What were you doing during those 15 minutes?
Answer the question.
Telephone,
Spit it out.
I was searching for a phone booth.
A phone booth?
You mean you don't have a cell phone?
You and your questions as if you're trying to open all the layers of a Matryoshka doll. You must think you're really something special. Witness? I lost my cell phone. There, are you happy? You lost it?
Unbelievable, you lose your glasses and your cell phone. You must be very scatterbrained when it comes to your belongings.
What? Are you saying that first-rate people are never allowed to lose things? Haven't you ever heard that all geniuses have a strange quirk or two? So by that rationale, my own quirk, it would be that I'm a genius. It's as simple. Enough! Oh man, wait, hold on a second. He lost his cell phone. Nick, that cell phone, could it be? You mean this phone Maggie found? There's no way. Boy, I didn't see this coming. What should I do now? Mr. Wellington, where's your cell phone right now? What are you getting all excited about? You seem to be a little confused. I found my phone, I'll have you know. So, see? Here it is. Oh, I see. Looks like he got his phone. I thought that just maybe this was his.
Well then, I think we've cleared this issue up. At the time of the murder, the witness did not have a cell phone because he had lost it. Therefore, the delay in his call was caused by his search for a phone booth.
Well, that's the gist of it. I guess you could put it that way and leave it at that.
Do you have any further questions, Mr. Wright?
Isn't there a phone booth, like, in that picture? Yeah, it's literally right there.
Your Honor, the witness's testimony does not make any sense. I don't believe that there was ever a need for the witness to search for a phone. How dare you?
You can't just make outrageous claims like that. You do have some sort of proof, don't you? Well, yeah, of course. This evidence should be good enough, I think.
Alright, let's have a look at this proof, then. Please present proof that the witness had no need to search for a public phone booth.
It's quite simple, actually. Please take a look at this.
At the crime scene photo.
Is there a problem with it? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the picture. But if you don't understand my logic after looking at it, something is wrong with you. No.
It's a phone booth.
That's correct. All the defendant had to do was walk 3 steps. Mr. Wellington, why did you not use the phone that was right in front of you?
Ooh. Ooh.
Order! Order!
What is reporting the crime a little late proved to the defense? The witness can't explain what he was doing for those 15 minutes. That's reason enough to throw suspicion on his testimony.
Yes, this is very true. What do you have to say for yourself, witness?
And I bet this phone really is his, Nick. He must have killed Dustin to get his phone back. But Maggie said that she was going to return it to him. So there was no reason for him to kill for it. And on top of that, we still have the phone she found anyway. But if he wasn't looking...
What the hell? Why'd I switch into someone else's voice there?
But if he wasn't looking for a cell phone, maybe he was looking for something else. Was he?
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any thoughts you would like to share with the court? Can you offer an explanation as to what the witness was doing during those 15 minutes?
There's only one possible explanation.
Alright, let's hear your explanation. However, be forewarned that if your explanation is not persuasive, you will be penalized. Think carefully before you present, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Probably shouldn't have said there was only one possibility.
Please present to the court the one piece of evidence that will answer the following. Why did the witness not call the police right away?
So something to note, if you look up at the health bar, this is the second major change in the second and third game. In the first game, even in the collection it used the health bar for all of them, but in the first game it was always a set penalty of 2 segments. In other words, 5 penalties and you were out. Now, the penalties actually differ in how much you get penalized based on the situation. So now this one only loses 1 segment instead of 2, like most of them do. And there are ones later that cost your whole bar if you fuck up, so you need to save beforehand. Why did the witness call the police right away? Glasses? I appreciate the segments are now clear instead of a vague solid bar, yeah. I do miss the 3D bar, like the textured bar. It had like a little 3D effect to it. Though, again, it doesn't matter, because once you get to the future games, they go back to the 5-strike system instead. Pretty sure even Apollo Justice, which has the bar, still only does, like, the 5 strikes. Great Ace Attorney only had the 5 strikes. Mr. Wellington. What? Don't do that. You almost gave me a heart attack. These are your glasses, aren't they? Where did you find... Ah! I believe the court all just heard what you confessed to. That these glasses are in fact yours. I'll tell you where they were found, Mr. Wellington. These glasses were found under the victim's body. Under the victim's body?
Order! Order!
Now, wait a second, hold on. I didn't confess or confirm anything. Your Honor, I think the answer is quite clear here. As he fell, Dustin Prince grabbed the culprit's glasses. The culprit then knew he had to find his glasses, and he searched frantically for them. What he didn't realize was that they were under the victim's body. And that is why it took him 15 minutes to make that call. What was the last game to have its initial version not let you save scum anyway? Do we even need the bar? Yeah, exactly. Did the 3DS versions let you do that? You only play the mobile ports. Every version of the game released in English lets you save anywhere. The DS versions of these games did. The only versions that don't let you save scum are the GBA versions, which is why I didn't know, because you literally just told me about that tonight. That's the only reason I didn't know about that. I thought that was a feature from the original games. But no, save scumming has been DS and onwards. I need a drink, sorry. Ugh. And that's why it took him 15 minutes to make the call. Mr. Wright, are you indicting the witness as the real murderer? Of course. That's precisely what I'm doing. Ooh. This objection theme is so good. I know I'm right. Or corner theme, rather, not the objection theme. He's the real murderer. Did you figure it out, Nick? More or less. Turns out the cell phone was the key to this case after all. Anyway, now's our chance to deep six this guy. I'll sink him in one shot. Yeah. This is so exciting watching you work again. Somehow, my old self is coming back to me. It's time to sink or swim. Everything rests on the edge of a knife. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Order! Order!
Your Honor, the defense is making a mockery of this court. Without any solid ground to stand on, he accuses the witness of being the murderer.
Yeah, that's right. I'm no criminal. This is third-rate fraud of a lawyer. Just ate curry? Aw, man, nice. You know me, I'm a curry fiend. I wish I had some curry. I had curry powder in my chili, but that's not really the same thing. In that case, why don't we look at it from a different perspective? Let's hear your explanation. Let's hear your explanation as to why you're not the murderer. Why? That's easy. For example, there's the name the victim wrote. What about that? Oh, you mean the name Maggie? Yeah, even an idiot can read that, right? But we already know it was not written by the victim himself. After all, the defendant's name is Maggie, E-Y, and the victim was left-handed. In other words, in order to make the defendant look guilty, the real criminal used the victim's right hand to write her name on the ground. But, wouldn't that mean the real criminal was someone the defendant knew? Otherwise, how else would that person have known her name was Maggie, or Maggie? It is a good point. Witness didn't even know of Miss Bird before this trial. I forgot. Was there any way this creep could have known Maggie's name beforehand? There was a way. It'd be best if I could prove what the witness had a chance to learn. That the defendant's name was Maggie. Now, will the defense please present its case? How could the witness have known the defendant's name? Mr. Wellington. There was bell pepper on it, potatoes, carrots, sauteed in onions, garlic, pepper, salt, and chicken. Oh man, that sounds good. You didn't have your cell phone with you on the day of the murder, correct? So what if I didn't? When you realized you lost it, what did you do? What did I do? Didn't you try to find it by calling it? Why, how did you...
Your Honor, these questions have nothing to do with...
Overruled. Mr. Wright, where are you going with this line of questioning? Do you think there's some relation between the witness's cell phone and the murder? I do, Your Honor. On the day of the murder, Maggie Bird picked up a lost phone in the park. And she also received a phone call from the owner of the phone. I want that blue badger sweater. That's when you learned her name was Maggie.
But you made one fatal mistake. Fatal mistake? My client's name is Maggie, but the name was written on the ground. Whatever, we've gone over this a bunch of times already. This is a mistake that can only occur if you knew how her name sounded. Oh! Order, order!
But, Your Honor, the witness has no motive.
Your point is?
It's very simple, Your Honor. A person usually would not kill someone without reason. Mr. Wellington had no reason to kill anyone.
This is absolutely correct. I don't have a motive. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, can you explain what motive this witness could have had?
It's very simple, Your Honor.
Are you sure, Nick? If I said I can't offer an explanation, then the trial's over, right?
Yeah, but...
Now then, please present to this court proof that the witness had a motive.
See, now this one's two segments.
Take that!
Mr. Wellington's motive is right here. What is this? A list? These phone numbers were pulled from the memory of the phone that the defendant found. And we've determined that the people on this list are members of a certain group. You looked up all those numbers? Of course. This list of phone numbers was stored in the cell phone's memory. The names and numbers belong to the people who are members of a certain con artist group.
What? Con artists?
Can you explain why these numbers were on your phone, Mr. Wellington?
This is an outrage, an invasion of privacy. Looking up the phone numbers on a person's phone is a worse crime than murder.
You're one of those people. You're just like the cops who raided that brilliant artist, Maurice Trillo's, out to the air. They disrupted the work of the genius, and I didn't get to read all that. I don't care, Mr. Wellington. All I want is for you to tell us what this list is about. You think any of you know what it's like to be a refined man such as me?
Your Honor, this is unjustified badgering of the witness.
Objection overruled. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? Why would the witness have the numbers of a group of con artists on his phone?
Isn't that obvious? The witness is a member of the group. Mr. Wellington is such a Twitter guy. Yeah. Twitter villain. Twitter main character. Also, hello, Izzy. But I go on Twitter. We all go on Twitter, unfortunately. There's no avoiding it. No! Ah.
All your friends' phone numbers are stored right here on this phone. If anyone were to look into one of these numbers, it would be all over for you. That's why you had to kill.
Hey, Finnegan, how you doing? The good artists are all there now, yeah.
Oh, no, this is too much! Too much! And what's the deal with bananas? That does make quite a bit of sense. Well, Mr. Wellington, would you care to explain? I got you now. That police officer.
Chilling after some more drawing? Nice. It's also Blue Sky, but how the hell do that? I don't know. If you want a Blue Sky invite, I have a spare one, Karma. I have two, and I'm waiting. I already gave one to my friend, but they haven't used it yet.
Your Honor.
What is it, Mr. Payne?
Your Honor, this is unjustified badgering of the witness.
You said that exact same thing only a few seconds ago.
I'll give it to you after I'm done with this trial.
Please, let's think about the content of that phone call.
Hello?
Oh, thank you, but oh, wait, we read this already.
Take a drink. Never mind. Drink's over.
The defendant had already promised she would return the phone. After that, all Mr. Wellington had to do was meet Miss Bird and get his phone back. Why, then, would he needed to kill anyone?
That is a valid point. What does the defense think about this? If you think about it logically, then it makes sense. Maybe we should try thinking outside the box. Yeah, if we think like that, let's see. Maybe that slime ball saw something at the crime scene that made him commit murder. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright?
Well, I don't think Mr. Wellington went to pick up his phone in a very friendly manner. But But he was promised his phone, so why would he have been unfriendly to the defendant? I think he must have seen something that didn't agree with him when he got there.
Well then, Mr. Wright, what was this something that didn't agree with the witness?
Winston Payne, obviously. No, it's Dustin Prince. What Mr. Wellington saw was the victim.
The victim? You mean Dustin Prince?
Dustin Prince had gone to his date right after his shift was over. With no time to change, he went to the park still wearing his police uniform. Oh! That's a sleeveless vest, too. I think I'd like that. That girl picked up my phone and was with a policeman. He couldn't have known they were going out, so he began to worry. Couldn't have known they were going out, so he began to worry. He was afraid the policeman would ask a few questions before returning the phone. If I do anything suspicious, he might run a check on my phone. In his mind, it was possible they had already run a check on his phone.
And he went into a panic, is what you're saying?
Exactly. Officer Prince was murdered simply because he was in uniform.
Mr. Payne, do you have any comments?
I'm thinking.
Seems the truth has come out at last.
Pretty sure they have to change before going off duty, in the US at least, yeah. That is, I believe, the law here. Quite sad, TBH, yeah.
The witness, Mr. Wellington, you are...
Impressive. Not bad for a person with a third-rate education. What's that supposed to mean? The evidence. Evidence! That guy is really creeping me out. All you've been waving around and talking about is that suspicious cell phone. Suspicious phone number this. Suspicious con group that. They're all on that phone. But who's to say that phone is really mine? Where's your proof? Your evidence? You want proof that this phone is yours? I already told you earlier. That phone I lost, I've already found it. You don't have even the slightest idea who the phone in your hand belongs to. But you can be sure it isn't mine, you simpleton. What? It feels so good to see you squirm.
We do seem to have a problem on our hands with this phone. Whose phone is it, without knowing that it's meaningless as evidence?
The phone has to have a name on it, yeah. Well, I think they explain that right now, actually. Your Honor, this is bad. I can't let them turn the tables on me like this. The cell phone. There has to be something I've overlooked. There's got to be. Maybe... fingerprints on the phone? I got it. We should check for fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wellington must have left some prints on this phone. Nick, don't you remember? When you got that from Maggie, you wiped it off. What? You said there was sand all over it, so... Wiped it? I wiped it. Pretty thoroughly, too. Why would Phoenix do that? Like, what in his mind would think, oh, a suspicious cell phone. I'm gonna wipe the fingerprints off of it. Even if there was sand on it. What? That's such a... that's like one of the dumbest things I can ever imagine him doing. He would absolutely know better than that, yeah. No, even Maya wouldn't do that. Clearly she's upset about it, too. It's oh so much fun watching third-rate trash babble like morons amongst themselves. That's what we call tampering with evidence, yeah. Well, to be fair, in Ace Attorney logic, that phone had no connection to the case at the time. We had no idea that the phone was connected to the murder, so technically it wasn't legal evidence. So, technically, Phoenix did not tamper with it. Yeah. At least in the way the Ace Attorney world works, it wasn't considered evidence at the time. Even though Phoenix had suspicions, which... Why did he run a background... Like, he ran a background check on the phone. So he clearly thought it was useful. He clearly thought it was suspicious. But he wipes the prints off of it for some god-awful reason. IRL, sadly, it also works like that. Well, it depends. It's a bit more complicated, obviously. He's made a complete recovery.
How many times do I have to say this? My phone is right here, you see? Oh, and incidentally, you can't check the numbers stored on this phone. It must have glitched because all the numbers just magically disappeared. You've got to be joking. He erased all the numbers I was going to use as evidence. Mr. Wellington. What's this? By the tone of your voice, it sounds like you still have some fight left in you. Where did you finally find your cell phone? Oh, you're too much. And of course, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh my... Now I remember! How did the bailiffs in that room not catch, Wellington doing that? Like, how did that... It's like, he was in the courtroom. Doesn't look like you're supposed to lounge on public property like that, yeah. He was early. He needed a nap. So that's when... What's wrong, Mr. Attorney? Why the harsh glare in your eyes? Nick, we've worked so hard to get this far, but... If you don't do something quick, he's going to get off scot-free. I know. I know this phone has to be his. But how am I going to prove something like that? Mr. Wright, if you cannot prove who the owner of that cell phone is, your indictment has no basis, and therefore no power. It looks like you came up a penny short. Where? Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Sorry. It's a Vinny bit. Don't blame yourself, you're merely a third-rate lawyer. You only made one big mistake. Who are you? What are you? That's something you haven't figured out for yourself yet. Who I am? The court hereby concludes this cross-examination. You're a third-rate meat stick? No, that's what I have under my table that I eat when I get hungry at my computer. If that'll be all, I'll have to bid you gentlemen and ladies goodbye. I have a reservation at that ultra-fancy restaurant on the upper side of town. Thank you for your assistance. You've had a stressful day, so please, bon appetit. What am I supposed to do? Am I just going to let it go at that? Raise an objection, asshole. Please wait, Your Honor. Alright, Nick. I think I may be able to prove it. Prove it. Prove what, Mr. Wright? Everything. Your Honor, the cross-examination has already ended. Besides, the defense is just going to badger the witness with more inane questions. You will not harass the witness. Is that clear, Mr. Wright? Did you hear that? No harassment allowed, Mr. Attorney. Please, Your Honor. Very well, but this is your last chance, Mr. Wright. You may present one piece of evidence to the court. Only get one shot at this. If you cannot prove everything, it's over for your client and for you. Do you fully understand? Yes, Your Honor. I'm sure you're well aware, Your Honor, but the cross-examination period is ended. Were you paying attention, Mr. Payne? I said that Mr. Wright can present only one more piece of evidence. Oh, now then, Mr. Wright, this is your last chance. It all comes down to this. It's go time. Please present the one piece of evidence that will explain everything. Phoenix's business card. Take that! Why, thank you. How nice. Here, please have one of mine. Judge's business card added to the court record. It's fancy. It's written in fancy script. The ink is strong and clear, but I still can't read it. The judge's name will forever be a blur, two blurs on a card. Wait, what am I doing? This isn't the time to be exchanging business cards. Your Honor, there's something very important about that card, and that is... You know what to pick here? Yep. The name on that card tells people who I am. It even told me that I'm Phoenix Wright. Did you not know that? Nope.
What's the meaning of this nonsense?
Mr. Wright, get a hold of yourself and start behaving like a proper lawyer.
Ouch, talk about a tongue lashing, Nick. I should probably try this from a different angle. What's important is the number on the back. You wrote your cell phone number on the back, but that's exactly it. Can you please call this number from your cell phone? Huh? Right now? But court is still in session. It's okay. You'll see. Okay, if you say so.
Is the defense preparing something, Mr. Wright?
We're going to call my cell phone now. And then the court will see everything for what it is.
Of all the idiotic, stupid things, too.
What? Why is my phone? And what is this stupid sounding ringtone? Mr. Wellington? How strange. I could almost swear that you're holding my phone. You're... No. It can't... By the way, before I forget, thank you very much for the lump on my head this morning. I don't think I need to explain any further, except to say... When you went to retrieve your cell phone, you mistakenly took the wrong one. I like how the music was still gonna play and you heard it, like, fade out very quickly at the end. You're like one note.
So that's what happened. You were knocked out by Mr. Wellington.
He's a man who lives on his pride and self-image alone. And in order to hide his involvement with the con artist group, he's become paranoid and lost all ability to make rational judgments. Then Mr. Wright, the phone you're holding. It's Mr. Wellington's, naturally.
Speaking of that man, how is he, Mr. Payne?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird...
not guilty.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Forgot about Mr. Wellington as a con artist. He's even more of a Twitter blue guy. Yeah. He paid the $8 for Twitter. December 8th, 2016, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. I knew that the real you would shine through eventually. I'm so moved by what you've done for me, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I feel really bad for Dustin. He didn't do anything to deserve this. It's probably because of me. Huh? My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. This is the greatest victory theme, too? Yes. I agree, this is the best victory theme of the original trilogy. Your whole life? It can't be that bad, can it? Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've ever taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and never won or even tied at a game of tic-tac-toe. My life has really been nothing but a string of disasters. That is, pretty bad. Up until I went to college, I was known as the Goddess of Misfortune. And at the academy, everyone called me Lady Luckless. Lady Luckless? What's worse is that misfortune always seems to latch onto those around me. What do you mean? When I see someone in trouble, I always try to help. That's right, you were talking about this earlier. It happened again recently, sir, too. There was an old lady pacing back and forth by the pedestrian's crosswalk. I gave her my hand and, before I knew it, we were having dinner at my house. Oh. I'm sure that Dustin's gone because of me. That's not true. That glove didn't even have any sort of special meaning. It was just a present to say thanks for covering one of my night shifts. Oh, I see. Everything's all my fault. Dustin's death, your head being all messed up. Well, I don't think my head is that messed up yet.
I'm going to find a new life for myself starting now. Next time we meet, I'm sure I'll have found a whole ocean's worth of good luck by then, sir. Yeah, after all, the Goddess of Misfortune is only a name. You bet. I'm gonna make it, I promise. Next time we meet, I'll only be an unlucky person instead of a goddess. Be paying for a night shift with a custom-made baseball glove seems drastic, yeah. I mean, they were kind of technically sort of dating, according to what they kept saying, even if she claims they weren't. Yeah, that's the spirit. Oh, Mr. Wright, Maya, I should get going. Yeah, on a cop's salary. Okay, good luck to you. Thanks. You take care of yourselves, too. What a horrible day. Got my memory back, but things are still a little fuzzy. Especially Gumshoe's salary, yeah. Jeez, it's cold here. It's been warm again where I am. It's gonna get cold tomorrow, though. This weekend's gonna get rainy, and then hopefully the weather will finally stay, cool. Got my memory back, but things are still a little fuzzy. But you're okay, and that's what counts. You really had me worried. Wow, it's 35 degrees where you are? Wow. It is, the weather broke your arm. Karma, what does that even mean? It's 65 here right now, with a high of 74 tomorrow. Oh, the high went up for Saturday. Oh, that sucks. It's so comfy that you slept on your arm. It hurt. Well, you didn't break your arm. You just sprained it. Come on, let's go back to the office. I'm afraid to ask, but here goes. So this might sound bad, but, who are you? What? I thought you said you got your memory back. It's 70 here. That's not too bad. Same as where I am. At that moment, everything really did come back to me. Detective Gumshoe. He's someone I've had clashes with in the past during certain cases, but he's also been a good ally during others. The judge. He's a lovable, kind old man who's easily swayed by other people's opinions, but in the end he always comes up with the right verdict. This person, I haven't got a clue. He seems to know me, but maybe he's mistaking me for someone else? And this girl, Maya? You finally remembered. This is Maya Fey, my assistant. No luck with pain, yeah. That's right. I have so many unforgettable memories about her. For example, Earth to Nick, what's wrong? You keep staring at me. Don't tell me you've missed me. Well, yeah, I suppose I have. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Oh? Well, I'm back now, so it's time for us to create new memories together. Imagine if Maya knew Sasato's power move. Yeah, the Sasato flip. The Maya flip. Alright, sounds good. All the phone numbers on my phone were erased by Wellington. Guess I have to start over from the very beginning. Come on, Nick, let's go to our usual burger joint. Okay. Actually, it hasn't even been that long since Maya came back into my life. And that story began on one rainy afternoon, 2 months ago. So 1, The Lost Turnabout. The end. Maya Flip Phoenix. Dang, there's so many games on sale in the eShop. I'm tempted to buy some. Do you ever get someone in this mood where you want to buy a bunch of games that are on sale, but you don't because you have a backlog? Yes, all the time. All the time. Absolutely. Episode 2, Reunion and Turnabout. Okay, let me save. So before we do anything, I want to check, what Ayla brought up to me earlier. What was it? The iPad port of Ace Attorney? Let's see. HD iPad, 11 years ago. Okay. I want to see this. Why is that still open? Get rid of that. Desktop. Firefox.
That certainly looks, well, stretched out for the aspect ratio. It's very, the edges are very, aliased, anti-aliased. There's a lot of just jaggedness. Oh yeah, that looks terrible. That's their attempt at HD on the iPad. It's awful. The aspect ratio's off. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, nah. I ain't feeling that. Oh my god! Look at this! It's like, it is drawn over. It's like so, he's so, like, angular. Every wrinkle on him, every line, it's got, like, pointed edges. Ugh. It's, we're glad that version's not the version that we, have to play on iPad if you want to play that one now. Dang. Mia Human Centipede looking... What? Yeah, that's interesting. That is definitely a lost relic now, because it got removed, as Ayla said, a year ago. And now, the current collection is up instead. She had so many arms. Ah, whatever. I'll look again later. Taking a potty break? Okay. I'm gonna start the next case, after I stop recording this one.